Hi everybody, it's Anne Lewis, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. Today I'm going to be showcasing how to make this super cute chocolate wreath. I have to say those chocolates are very lucky to still be around. I have had a chocolate fetish, and also I'm going to show you how you can make your version of this Christmas decoration. Now we'll be changing it up. This is very layered. I'm going to show you a simple one that you can then step up or step down as much as you like. So let's get going. I'll just come up here so you can at least see me. How you all going? Now I'll get started on my chocolate one whilst I'm going here. Really, we've got I don't know how many days, 12 days to go to Christmas. So it's getting pretty exciting. So both of my projects today are Christmas based and are perfect to either give to somebody or just have around the house. So let's get going. I'll go down to my craft desk and we are right to go. So what I'm going to be doing is, this is the one I'm going to make first. I've got two. I was only going to make one and then got a little carried away and decided that I would make two special projects because one wasn't enough. But, so it's a simple project. I'm using the Ferrero Rocher chocolates, which are my favourites, but I now know that they're not everybody's favourites, which surprised me a little bit. Now, if you can see and hear me, leave a comment so I can see that you're there. So thank you, Glenda. Right, now, the base, just had a little landslide here. The base of my wreath is a piece of cellophane. Now I bought a roll of cellophane, and I've got to say, from the cheap shop, best decision I ever made, because if you get good quality cellophane, this is really hard to kind of put together. Because my first one, that's what I actually did, was I used some really crisp, clear cellophane, and it was pretty hard to do. So when I went to buy a roll, and this was there, I went, oh, that's probably not going to be as good as I need it to be, but it is actually perfect. So I have cut a piece fairly roughly, about 6 inches. Don't worry about how much it is, because you're really not going to notice. It can be 6 inches, it can be 5 inches, but any less than that, you're probably not going to be that happy. So I'm getting my 5 Ferrero Rocher chocolates, who I can still hear calling my name. Anne. I can't believe I didn't actually eat them. Now, so I'm just putting that in the middle of my cellophane, and I know cellophane's hard to see, so I'm just putting it like that. Now, this is really, it's quite an easy project. It does get, I don't know, what I would call a little fiddly at times, but that's probably because, and you hear me say this after I've broke my wrists and my arms, I haven't got as much manual dexterity as I would like. So all I'm doing is rolling this over and rolling this over like that. So I'm just wrapping them, and I want it to be fairly tight. Don't worry about how they slide around or anything. And I'm going to grab some sticky tape. Now, to be honest, the sticky tape is just to hold it there while you work. Now, you don't particularly want the joins to be on top. So, the side's okay. All I'm going to be doing is this. So, if you've joined us, leave a comment. Now, as I said, doesn't have to be. The sticky tape is just to hold it while you work on it. So, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just adding some sticky tape, and you can't even see it. You can't see my joins. Then the secret to this is you're going to grab some twine. I just went to my stash, pulled out some twine that would match, and I'm going to go to the very middle one, doesn't matter which side of the middle, and I'm going to tie a knot. Hopefully you can see that. Put as tight as I can, keep it as tight as I can, and then I just keep doing that in between each one. So I want these close together. I want them all up the right way. One's tried to have a rollover on me. I'll have to see if I can fix it. So I want it tight. Again, I'm going to pull this as tight as I can. This is why the softer, cheaper cellophane works a little bit better. Oops. So I've cut my ties pretty generous because I find it a little easier to tie. Right. Just going to turn this one over whilst I can. Right. And then, so again in here, I'm going to have him as tight as I can. Let's just see how quick and easy this actually is, and how gorgeous it looks. The tighter you pull these, the better it actually looks. A couple more here. Now, this is, I don't even know, I'm probably thinking 1 metre, but you don't need all that. I just keep it on there because then I can cut it back when I get to the end, trim it up. Hi Chris, how's everybody going for Christmas? I'm still doing my Christmas, did some Christmas shopping today. Now, so you need 6 of these pieces to do this part. Put it down. I'm going to love, I'm also doing the rosette that you like, Chris. How did you not manage to eat them? I tell you, it was pretty darn hard. I made sure I didn't put them in the fridge, which does make them a little harder to work with because they're a bit soft. Got all these. So I do want to just tidy up this a little bit. Push that one along because I want it nice and tight. Oops. See what I mean about making my fingers work. Right. So nice and tight. These ones are going to be a little looser than my sample. So you're going to love this because it's so easy. So there it is. So now all I have to do is pull it around. I want these to all be facing up. Don't want any of them to be hiding their face. Now I did tie mine just like that. I don't really know that I needed to. Actually, yeah, I will. So I want these to poke out in different sides. Then I'm tying this again because I want it to stay nice and tight. They're all facing up. So tying it tight. I'm going to leave this here because I might use that again. Then I've got some ribbon here, cut somewhere. Oh, it's on the floor. I don't know. So this is a Poppy Parade, and it's called, oh, it's Real Red, actually. Real Red and Gold Spotted Ribbon, but it's quite got a little orange tone to it. So now I'm going to wrap a ribbon through here, tie the bow. So I'll bring this back so you can see what I'm doing. So twist this around a little bit so it goes the way I want it to go. Now I should, okay, so we're going to have this going this way this time. So it's pretty ribbon. And you always hear me say that to get a nice bow, it's the work that you do after you actually tie the bow. So I want it nice and tight, and I want these a little pumped up. Now, so we're still not finished. I've got a little tag that I've done, and this tag comes from, the little sentiment comes from a little something for you with lots of love for me. I love this. I've used this, I actually used all three of those sentiments so much. So I've already kept this piece of ribbon on here, this bit of twine on here. So I'm going to tie that. Don't know how this will end up. Anyway. Oh, I wanted a bell. Oh, I forgot the bell. Well, I had these retired bells. They're retired bells. Retired from Stampin' Up. And I found them and I just thought they'd be really nice to add. But you don't need a bell. It just was something that I'd kept and I thought it was perfect because now it makes, whoops, a little bit of a noise. So let me know what you think. Oh, this is a little harder twine. It keeps splitting on me. There we go. So now it rattles. I think you can probably see that. And can I tie a little bow with this little bit? I think I can. I'll trim it up. So there we go. So there's my little chocolate wreath. Now I've got to trim these bits off. I don't want all these ears. They're a bit soft, my chocolates. They'll be a little safer now that they're wrapped. And then I just trim that off. And there we go. So what do you think of that wreath? And this is why I thought it was so quick to make. It takes about 10 minutes to make. Yeah, so there you go. So I've got the bow facing a little different angle, but I think both of them work. So you can choose which one you want to do. So what does everybody think? Okay, so I'm going to put this over. All right. And we're going to start the next project, which my next project is an easy version of this. But everybody admired this. It was one of my class projects on Sunday. Everybody loved making it. But you can make this a little easier with a few less layers than what I've got on here. And I thought you'd like to know how to make this. So I have cut 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. This time I've used Merry Bold and Bright Designer Series paper. I think this is the last bit I have of it. I'm running out of Christmas stock because I've made so many projects this year. And so what we're going to do, we're going to cut 2 pieces of this. first thing we're going to do is we're going to, now this is a pattern, faces up, trees. So at the top, I've just drawn a line 1/2 inch across. So I'm hoping that you can see that. I've done it really lightly because I don't want it to show too much. Then I'm going to grab my trimmer, which is hiding under here. And making sure that my cutting blade is out of the way, I'm just using the scoring. And I will keep it all working up so that the pattern goes up the top. Not that I think it matters, but I can't go wrong if it does matter. Now, because this is a designer series paper, I don't want to score too heavy. Otherwise, I'll have to do a Stampin' Up! Band-Aid. And I think a few of you would have seen on my Facebook page what a Stampin' Up! Band-Aid looks like. Now, that one I probably did a little bit too much. Now, I'm trying to not open my extender here. So I'm coming... Now I've confused myself. Right, wait a minute. So I've just put it over to 6 inches. I know my paper's 12 inches. And then I'll just keep sliding it back 1/2 inch, because each score line's 1/2 inch each. Now this piece is 3.5 inches by 12 inches. Remember, I've cut 2 of them. And the original one that I did, that I just showed you, I did it 4 inches. But it really was hard to get it to go around the circle. Just wasn't, it was a bit tight, and that's why mine ripped just a bit. When I cut it down, it doesn't have to travel as far around in the circle, so it makes it a little easier. Now this will be, the first one I showed you was very formal. This rosette is just very bright and modern, and I love it. As I said, I've used all my papers this year. So now I've got it back. This is the only bit that takes a little bit of time. Now if you had a scoreboard, you could use your scoreboard for this. So I'm doing the same, putting it on the 6. I've already done that one, so it's the 5.5 inch mark. I'm just doing exactly the same all the way back. As I said, I'm not paying enough attention to how hard I'm scoring, but I should be. So hopefully I haven't ripped it. There's nothing difficult about this, especially when I don't ever open up the extender arm, and that's because I don't have enough room on the table. You wouldn't be able to see me. So let me know where you're watching from. I hope you're more prepared for Christmas than I am. So much on my to do. But all these little things that I'm doing here, I'm going to be using in my Christmas wrapping or Christmas decos. I don't just make stuff, I make it to use. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to turn this over, and you can see where this line is. I'm going to grab my paper snips, and I am going to, from the corner down to the next score line and that line and that. So just to that point there, and you'll see what I do here. So I cut down. So I'm making this edge. That's what I'm cutting now. So you didn't see what I just did. Let's keep it simple at this stage. So up, down. So you're going now. Once you get used to it, you can actually do them all in one direction. don't have to be perfect. You don't want them too messy. See, this is the quicker part of it. Oops. Now, both these sides are pretty nice, but I'll stick to my Christmas tree pattern. Clean up that a little bit. Now, all I'm going to do is then concertina this with my fingers. So you can see this is quick and easy. I've kept my middle finger underneath to keep it to do the underneath bending. I do squish it a little bit. And I'll get my bone folder, not too viciously, so it does that. Now this one I've already done that too, but I haven't cut this bit. I don't really know why I didn't do that. Anyway. I think I might have run out of time. It's a little hectic. Who's made rosettes? There used to be, when I first joined Stamping Up, so now I'm a little confused. I think it's 11 years ago. Rosettes were hot. I think that's probably when the scoreboard came in. Then they've kind of died off a bit, but they're making a comeback. I especially like the ones with the fancy edges on them. But if you don't want fancy edges or you don't want to go to that trouble, it's okay. Now, this is what I would do, is every second one I would go like this. Saves the workload. Then I would turn around. Hopefully I've got this right. And then come back the other direction. Makes it so much quicker. But unless you know you're used to it, let's get rid of all those little pieces. And then we want these to join in. Now I'm going to join that down there. Now I'm going to use some tear and tape because I want this to be nice and strong. We've got a big ruler here, but that's okay. So now that will work. Don't worry about this, we'll trim that off. I'm just burnishing that to make it a little easier to peel off. That was simple. So I want to join these together. I want to make sure the bottoms all lines up and that I don't go over that fold. I go right up to the fold, but I don't go over the fold. Or otherwise, it's not going to fold very well. But I need to trim this off. Now, I'm going to have, this is not going to be perfect, this one. Should have done, all right. So this one, I'm going to, all right. Just having a play with how this is going to sit best. Doesn't want to sit like I want it to sit. So So, up. Righto. I'm going to get another piece of this. Take a pick tool, it's perfect for this. Bring this around. I'm not sure. So I want that to sit like that this time. Right, I'll just put another, I doubled this up to make it work. I'll show you what I did in a second. There's my scissors. Oh, I didn't take that. Oh no, so hi Sharon, how are you? So I'm showing how to make this in a simpler version. And I've already demonstrated how to make these Christmas wreaths made out of chocolate. So here we go. So now we've got it, as someone said to me, like a party hat. And I have 2 circles here that I've previously die cut. This is to go on the front. This is in Poppy Parade because it matches my paper. And I use the Stylish Shapes, which you probably see me use every week. And for the back one, I made a bigger one, and it is using the decal circles. Now, the size of the circles don't really matter. Oops, I want to go this way. So I'm going to collapse this down. So the edge that I've cut is on the outside here. So then all I do is stick that down. I've got to get this. I'm going to have to redo these just in the opposite direction. Now, turn this up again. Now it should just go down perfectly. Except it doesn't want to. Hello. Why, oh, why, oh, why is that? Probably because I double did it. Hello. I'm going to show you. This one does not want to sit in. I've never had this happen before, but you can always guarantee when it is live that is exactly what happens. So I'm going to try something. Let's see if this works, because it's not working at the moment. So I'm going to take this one out. You can always guarantee when you're doing something live, it doesn't work perfectly, does it? I know. I'm going to see what this looks like. I think that's going to work now. I know. So let's hope so. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do this off screen and show you tomorrow. But I think we've got this now. don't think I've ever had one of these that don't work. So let's just stick it down, see what happens, see if these work. I think it does. Oops, should go up there. I don't know. Let's see what happens this time. I'm going to have to just keep going on this, I think. Righto. I don't know what to say to any of you here and why that is happening. Nobody's telling me and giving me any advice here, because normally these are so simple. And I've taken one out and that's not working either. So anyway, I will show you how to put it together. I bought some hot glue gun because I thought that might be a little easier. I haven't used my hot glue gun for so long. I'm going to turn this over to the back because I want to put my big circle on here first. All right. So let's see if this is going to work. It's not looking like it. I know. I didn't use the hot glue gun when I first did it. I just used some of this. So let's run this around. So I just put it on the top in the size of my circle. I did a few circles here. The issue with this, doing it like this, is that you just got to let it dry. And I'll squish this hole as close as I can get it. I do need a few more here. Right. So I'm going to squish that in, hold that there. Now normally what I do is I will put something heavy on it, just whilst I keep a bit of pressure on it. I'm going to move that over, turn it over. No, it's not dry. This is what happens when you try and rush things, isn't it? But on the top circle, whilst this is drying, all right, I'm going to add this wreath. Now I haven't actually done anything fancy here. I've kept it so simple. So whilst I hold that, oops, as you see, I stamped this twice, like it has two pieces of paper on it. Who else has had disasters? Thank you, Madeline. I need a little bit of love, I think, on this. Holy I'm going, not happy, Jan. But anyway, it is what it is. So now this wreath comes from the cottage wreath. It's a carryover product from last year. I have used it so much. Now, I would have probably added a bow, but I haven't die cut a bow and I don't want to go over time. So now you can see that's stuck, kinda. So I want to keep this nice and tight again. So I'll go around here. I'm just keeping it on the top of these ridges. I must need a holiday, Madeline. Need time off. Righto. So there we go. Then I'm going to squish this in as tight as it will go. Put that there. Who's going to make a rosette after you've seen me murder this one? As I said, they are easy. But I've made hard work of this one. Okay, so I've got that there. I've got a little somewhere here. I think I showed it to you before. Oh, here it goes. A little Merry Christmas. And I want to keep that down. So I thought I'd just throw a little Merry Christmas there. I might add a little bow to this. Oops. I'll pop that up with some mini dimensionals. Yep. Keep it down. I might put that just sitting there. Then I'll tie a bow. I must have some nice ribbon. I've got tons of nice ribbon here somewhere. You might use this one. Tie a nice bow. This ribbon tie is lovely. It's got that texture on it that makes it so easy to tie. And I think I need the easy things now. My scissors need a little bit of, need some sharpening, I think. Rightio, so then we're going to put that just there with some glue dots, which have escaped out of my desk. Then I'll show you how to make this hang. Now originally I was going to hang it, put some ribbon down through the back of these circles. So I always put multiple glue dots. Got one on my finger here. Must be going to be one of those nights. So I want this nice and straight. There we go. Where's my sharp scissors? Just cut a little bit off there. It's better. Then I was a little slow here. I could have done something. I should have. My little feature here, I should have used it. Now I'm going to grab a little piece of Poppy Parade. Now I've only got, this is my only small hole punch. So I'm punching that out, and I'm using one of our retired Stampin' Up circle punches. This one's 1/2 inch, and I want to do that again. I'll show you how well this works. So I want it to reinforce. Now, if I was smart, I would have put it in there, and then it would have looked like I meant to make a feature. But I wasn't thinking. I was still counting. I think that's the top. Still counting down. How could I make a mistake? So I want to add these here. And I want to just fold it because it's going to go down into a little fold here. Don't want a lot of glue. Let's see if I've got any comments. There we go. And I'm going to turn this over. And this is my reinforcement on the back. Now, if you wanted to, if you thought it was important, you could easily rub that line out beforehand. But I'm going to be using this on a present, I think. So there we go. Then I'm going to get some more of that ribbon that I just tied the bow with. Now, because I don't want mine to hang, but yours definitely will, that's what you would do with it. So, yeah, so there it is. Warts and all. That's what a nice one looks like. This is what mine looks like tonight. Chris says, I think maybe 2 mounts or 2 values have been put together. One of the pieces needs to have an end piece. And then, just a suggestion. It's intrigued me now. Yes. I don't know. So there we go. Now, so there's my 2 projects for tonight. One I have not done well, but you get the idea how you can make your own. And it does come up stunning. It really does. So I'll be putting mine on a present, and I'll be keeping this one as my decorative for a couple of years. And then these are my little wreath, chocolate wreaths, which are super cute. And as you can see how easy they are. Now, any of the products that I've used tonight are available from my online store. I am going to be here next week if I recover from this week. And so I will see you next Wednesday. And then I am going to have a break for a week or two whilst I enjoy Christmas and catching up with everybody. So thanks, everybody. Oh, but I will be doing a joint Facebook Live with Christine on the last Friday of December. We've already committed to that, but I won't be doing the Wednesday night ones as well on that week. So thanks, everybody. Really enjoyed having you here. And now I'm sure you can see we all make mistakes. But thank you. I appreciate you dropping by. Well, hopefully you have learnt a few different techniques and a few new ideas. So thanks, everybody. Have a very Merry Christmas. I know I will probably see some of you next week, but just in case I don't, have the best Christmas you can. I hope you enjoy catching up with everybody and that it's just a fabulous Christmas. Bye for now.